Harry stretched out his hand at last to take the yellowish envelope. Addressed in emerald green to Mr. H. Potter. The floor, hut on the rock, the sea. He pulled out the letter and read, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hello, my magical friends. I am officially following the Pottermore Wizarding World Book Club. My sister gave me the suggestion to do a sort of book club for my videos on YouTube, so I decided that I would release these episode by episode following the Pottermore Book Club. So of course, we're going to be starting with the Philosopher's Stone, or the Sorcerer's Stone for my American friends. So for this video, we're going to be answering a few questions. We're just going to be looking at chapter 1 through 4 of the Philosopher's Stone. You guys can follow along, type down in the comment section your own ideas, your own opinions, your own thoughts about the questions, and it'll be fun to kind of like bounce around ideas and read other people's thoughts. So I'm ready to get my nerd on, and we're gonna start with the Philosopher's Stone, chapter 1 through 4. They have some intro questions here that will be kind of fun to ask. How would you describe Harry Potter to someone who hasn't read the books? And I mean, there is the simple answer of, well, Harry is a wizard. He goes to this school. He goes through adventures with his friends. He learns a lot about himself as a boy, as a wizard, as a young man. It's jam-packed full of adventure, and you're missing out if you're not reading it. And I just have one question for the Wizarding World. Where is my Hogwarts letter? I've been waiting for it. It still hasn't arrived. The first question for chapter 1 through 4 is the Wizarding World as secretive as it likes to believe? I personally don't think so, because they were walking around in like cloaks and you know, funny hats. Instead of, you know, walking around in muggle clothes. As much as they take doing magic in front of muggles seriously, some wizards don't necessarily take it upon themselves to dress in muggle clothes to be more inconspicuous. Even Vernon was noticing these strange people in cloaks and hats walking amongst everyone else. But I guess for less open-minded muggles, they can just explain it away like, oh, that's just their fashion sense. Oh, they're going to a convention. And of course, there are a lot of muggles who end up marrying witches or wizards and end up having a child who is a witch or wizard, or two muggle parents that end up having a wizard-witch child. So they end up finding out that way. Obviously, there are certain things they can't keep completely a secret because, you know, of like muggle-borns, but they're definitely not as secretive, I think, as they would like to think. The next question is, why do you think the Dursleys are so afraid of magic? Well, I think it comes down to just people being afraid of what they don't know in general, you know? At least I'd say most people are afraid of the unknown. I think that the Dursleys have an obsession with the thought of being perceived as normal. They kept it a secret to Harry that his parents were from this magical place because they were afraid of feeling abnormal, that they had something that was strange in their household, that was unheard of, that was peculiar. Vernon, I think, is a hardworking man. He likes things very normal and looking a certain way, and I think the thought of magic for him is something that's uncontrollable, and that scares him. I feel like he's someone who does not like to not be in control of things. As for Petunia, Petunia holds so much resentment towards her sister for, you know, receiving a Hogwarts letter and then living out this incredible magical adventure that Petunia will never know, will never understand. She never got the chance to be something so special. So the thought of magic, of the wizarding world, it opens old wounds that she had as a child. And knowing that her sister was killed by magic probably terrifies her, and she probably doesn't want anything to do with it. I feel like Petunia believes that the wizarding world was the reason why she had a strain in her relationship with her sister. And I think that also the Dursleys are afraid of sending Harry to Hogwarts, having him come back and be able to do magic, and how terrifying that would be. I can only imagine not getting along with someone in your household, sending them to a magical school, having them come back and threaten you with magic, even though they're not supposed to do magic outside of school. But the Dursleys don't know that, at least not right away. They probably think Harry could potentially really harm them with magic, because I would be scared too. That's just my 2 cents about that. The next question is, what makes Hagrid so trustworthy? I personally think that the reason why Hagrid seems so trustworthy, and I'm thinking about this through Harry's perspective, Hagrid was the first person to ever be honest about Harry's parents. I can only imagine what a conversation about Harry's parents would be like with the Dursleys. Oh yeah, they were just, they died in a car crash and that's it, stop asking us questions. And that was probably it. Whereas Hagrid went into depth about what happened. I mean, he could only say so much. There was no disdain or malice in the way Hagrid would talk about Harry's parents. To me, if I were Harry, I would be so happy and relieved that somebody somewhere knew something about my parents. I would feel like this makes me feel closer to knowing who they actually were, because I never got to know them. I think in general, what makes Hagrid so trustworthy is his instinctual nurturing quality. He has almost this motherly feel about him in how he cares about small things or just creatures. The amount of emotion Hagrid felt leaving this baby at Privet Drive in front of the Dursleys' steps. And I know this is just from the 1st to the 4th chapter, but he does display this time and time again throughout the books, that he is this very compassionate teddy bear. I would automatically trust him, because how can you not trust somebody who's so compassionate towards other things, other people? And yeah. So this concludes the first episode of this Harry Potter book club. Be prepared for the next one, because we're going into chapter 5 through 7 of the Philosopher's Stone. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, my lovely Slytherin army will gladly welcome you with open arms, even if you are not a Slytherin. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get on to the next one. Have an amazing day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Much love, as always. Bye.